right? Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kudash. I'd like to say double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught me this truth. And also shalom and salutations to the brothers out there of the hopeful elect that are preaching this word in truth and sincerity. Right, so I'm the brother Shaquat from the branch of Great Millstone, Montreal. Back once again with another impromptu lesson, an in-transit lesson, and this is the 20th edition. Lord willing, the Spirit's on me to continue, with these types of lessons, man. And Lord willing, they're edifying. All right, so this lesson that I'm going to be getting into today, is going to be a lesson going into, what has recently been the topic, the talking topic, man, however you say it, right? And that's the guy, Alazar, or, however you say his name, and the Lord is showing you an example through that man of how, you're not supposed to be, man, how you're not supposed to act and conduct yourself in the truth, because the way he was acting and conducting himself was with a lot of pride, man. A lot of pride and self exaltation, man. Wanting to be somebody. Putting himself in a position himself, man, and wasn't letting the Lord do it. So those are not traits that you want to have, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, right? Those are not traits that you want to have being in the truth. Instead, what you want to have is traits of the elect, right? Like the scriptures say, put on as the elect, and the elect, pride is not a part of that, right? Being proudful, having a lot of pride, trying to be somebody, trying to exalt yourself, and I want that seat. I want to be the top dog. The elect won't have that type of mindset. You see, because one of the characteristics of the elect is said that they will be meek. Meekness, man. Meekness is one of them. Oh, matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna start with in the book of Colossians. Bear with me. This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. It says, put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, holy, and that word holy goes into separate, right? So separate from the world. There shouldn't, somebody from the world shouldn't look at you and basically make correlations with you in the world, and be like, yo, this guy, you should stand out in a way, man. You shouldn't be, somebody shouldn't be able to decipher you from somebody in the world, right? Something about you should be different, and that's your mindset, right? Because it's gonna, even though, hey, you might pretend to be like you're in the world, you might put an act and try to cover, and disguise yourself that, oh yeah, I'm in the world. You might act like you're in the world to try to avoid certain scenarios, right? Because brothers do that, right? That's why you don't wear your fringes everywhere, like the elders and apostles advise us that, hey, it's better that people don't know that you're in the truth. It's best for you to be disguised, right? But sometimes that disguise, doesn't work, man. Why? Because you're not the same, man. You're separate, right? There's gonna come a point where, hey, somebody might start speaking about adultery, fucking another man's wife, and you be like, yo, bro, I'm not with, but it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna show, like, yo, this guy is not the same as me. Somebody in the world is gonna be like that. They're gonna say something like that. Oh, this guy's not the same as me, right? And that's how it's supposed to be, right? And that's what the word holy goes into. Separate, set apart, right? So the elect will be set apart and separate from the world, right? And that's something that the chief, not even chief, man. That guy Alazar, he wasn't applying that. Why? Because, hey, he was on different podcasts, worldly podcasts, like No Jumper. What does a man of Yahweh Bashim Hashai, what is he doing on No Jumper? If you're a man of the Lord, you shouldn't be on No Jumper. Because that's a wicked platform. That's a worldly platform, right? So that goes to show that he wasn't separate, really, man. He wasn't set apart, but he was one with the world. And scriptures also speak about they are of the world, therefore the world heareth them. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be set apart. You're not supposed to have nothing to do with the world. It says, put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, right? Humbleness of mind and meekness, man. Those are characteristics that an elect member would have, man. Being humble in your mind. And a part of being humble in your mind is, letting the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Hashai, control everything. Knowing that, hey, I don't have to do too much. As long as I'm doing the right thing, the Lord is going to put me where he wants me to be. The Lord is going to put me where it's best for me, That's a humble mindset. Not a mindset of, hey, I want views, I want clout, I want people under me. I want to control people. I want to tell people what to do. So I'm gonna strive to have this position. Right? That's not a humble mindset, man. And that guy Alazar, he did not have that mindset. He exalted himself, man. By giving him the title, giving himself the title of chief priest. Chief is that's the highest title, that one can achieve, man. Hey, but anyways, continuing on, it says verse 13, it says, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Mashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of the Most High, Yahweh, rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Right? So those are a couple characteristics or, traits that an elect member would have. And that's what we strive to be. That's what we strive to, those are things that we strive to obtain within ourselves, man. Not the opposite traits of those things that were mentioned, man. Because that's not what the Lord is dealing with. The scriptures speak about 6 things that the Lord hates, man, and 7 that are abomination unto him. And one of those things is pride. Puffing yourself up, man. Pomp. The Lord hates pomp. But the Lord loves a person that's humble, right? Oh, that's why the scriptures say this, right? In the book of Psalms, right? Psalms. I'm gonna read both Psalms 34 and verse 18. It says, the Lord Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit, man. So that's something that's well pleasing to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. A person that's weak, a person that knows that they're weak, a person that's broken, and a person that's contrite, a person that has a contrite spirit, man. And when you go into that word contrite, it says remorseful, repentant, penitent, regretful, man. Because when you're proud, you're not you're not penitent, you're not repentant. You think you have it all figured out, you know? That's pride. When you think you've got it all figured out, you know, and you think you're better than somebody, man, that's pride. That's not somebody that's regretful. You know, that's not somebody that's remorseful, man. That's why the Lord hates that. But the Lord loves a person. The Lord is nigh unto a person that's contrite, man, and broken, and understands that, hey, yo, I fucked up. You know, I fucked up, and I am fucked up, and I need fixing. I need healing. I need, you know, and I gotta strive to you know, to be better at what, you know, at things that I'm weak at, man. At shortcomings that I might have, man. You know, and that's a humble mindset, man. You know, not comparing yourself to others. You know, that's a humble mindset, right? And the Lord is nigh unto somebody that's like that, man. All right, so let's get the other one in Psalms 51 and verse 17. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 16. Psalms 51 and verse 16. It says, for thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. Right, and why does the Lord not delight in sacrifice, literal sacrifices? You know, like going into the law, right? We had sacrifices that would atone, that would make up for our sins, you know, which would be cattle, you know, whether it may be a lamb or a goat, you know, whatever. But that's going into the law, you know, where we had to actually literally offer up a sacrifice to the Most High by burning it, you know, in place of our sins, in place of ourselves, which, you know, that's what that sacrifice was. You know, but the Lord, he's no longer requiring those type of sacrifices, you know. And why? Because those literal sacrifices, you know, they didn't really show sincerity in a person, right? Because somebody might offer up that sacrifice, but you wouldn't, you know, they might do it unsincerely, you know. They wouldn't be contrite or, you know, regretful of the act that they did, you know. And that was what was going on in the ancient world, you know. You had Israelites that were doing that. They were trying to finesse, man, you know. They would sin, or even before they sinned, they would ask for, or offer up a sacrifice for their sin, you know. So that is not sincere. That is not somebody that's contrite when you do that, you know. It says that's why the Lord doesn't desire that. That's why King David said that, right? A Psalm of David, right? You know, that's why King David said that. Verse 17, it says, the sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit. A broken spirit. So like the sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit. A broken and a contrite heart, O Yahweh, thou will not despise, man. You know, so that's something that the Lord is not going to despise. And that is an acceptable sacrifice to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. A broken spirit and a contrite heart. You know, so that's a better sacrifice than a literal sacrifice. You know, because you mean it, man. If it's coming from you, man. If it's coming from your spirit, you mean it. You know? And you won't just go through the motions, you know, offering a sacrifice, man. Alright? So let's go from there to the book of Luke. 14 and verse 9. And it says, matter of fact, verse 8. No, verse 7. Luke 14 and verse 7. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, right? So this parable is to particular people that would, you know, choose out the highest rooms, the highest seats in a room, right? Because, hey, like dealing with wedding, right? Or something I'm more familiar with, like the ancient world shows, you know, those kingly shows, you know, those kingly shows, right? When they would be at a table, the king would sit in a particular seat, right? The seating or the sitting, like this, they had a sitting arrangement, right? A seating arrangement. You know, you couldn't sit in the king's chair if you weren't the king, or that person that was near to the king, and so on and so forth. You know, so the seating was arranged. You know, from the king, you know, to the king's advisors, and so on. You know, wherever you sat at the table, it had your name on it, so to speak, right? But you know, if let's say you were somebody that wasn't the king's advisor or the king, and you sat in the wrong seat, and that seat was a high seat, what's gonna happen? You know, they're gonna kick you out, and that's gonna be a shame. Matter of fact, let me keep going in the parable. It says, verse 8, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee, and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. Right? You know? So, hey, why are you gonna sit in a chair that's not yours? A position that you're not put in. That's what it's going into, right? People that would put themselves in particular positions without the Spirit putting them there, man. You know? It's more shameful for you because you're falling. You're gonna be cast down, right? And when you're low, you know, when you take the lowest seat, like he's gonna go on to say, you know, that's why the elder Yeshua always speaks about taking the low. You know, when you take the lowest seat, you can't fall from the lowest seat. You can't. There's no shame in going lower when you're already low. You know, the only thing that the only path you have is really up, is being exalted when you're low. You know, you can't fall from already being low, from already being, you know, humble, or, you know, meek. You know, it says, continuing on, verse 10, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. It says, for whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased. He that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Right? You know, so it's best to remain humble, man. You know? Because you exalting yourself, it's a prideful act, right? And the end is gonna be what? Shame. Just like we are witnessing with that guy, man, Alazar. You know? Hey, man, so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect. Call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Kakudash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and the elders of Green Millstone, and shalom to the elect. Until next time, shalom.